I think CCOs' jobs are changing completely. So new skills, new leadership requirements, the idea that you have to be persuasive inside the C-suite and collaborative. You know, we've talked about the CCO as a chief collaboration officer, maybe inside the C-suite. I think that's very true.
I believe that the strongest communications parts of the future are going to have people coming in and out. They're going to have legal backgrounds, they're going to have finance backgrounds, they're going to have HR backgrounds, they're going to have operational backgrounds. I don't think any communications function will survive in the future unless it has a critical mass of people who are operationally credible in the organization.
A prerequisite, I think, of the function for the future is that we will have much better, stronger, more diverse leaders in terms of gender, in terms of ideas, in terms of geography, in terms of where they come from.
I think we live in an environment where we aren't in total control over our narrative. And if we're very clear about corporate character and we engage with our communities through channels that we've created, whether live or digital, using social media strategically to bring communities together, then I think we're really helping to drive a more consistent narrative.
The CCO is central to reputation management. Obviously, that's the main job that we have as CCOs. And as circumstances change around the company and in the company, you just have to keep the eye on that particular objective. You can have changing technologies, you could have channels that disintegrate, you can have all sorts of things happening around you. It doesn't really matter because the nut of the issue is how do your stakeholders see you? What do they think about the way that the company behaves, not what it says, but how it behaves.
Reputation is about the actions of an organisation, what it does, how it does it, and the role of communication is then to take that behaviour and take it out to its stakeholders and to talk about how the organisation has responded to the expectations of society, or where the organisation decides it's not going to respond for whatever reason, to actually say why it hasn't responded.
For us, it's required this transition from largely reactive communications externally to more proactive and becoming our own content company. So how does that challenge you as a leader, as a CCO? It means you need different kinds of people. You need people who can tell stories, whether it's visual or in words or personally. People who understand what a good story is and why it represents the strategy, the character, and the people of the company.
The things I find most effective is when they're human. When you say human being human about something that you probably don't have much experience of, but you know it's utterly real, it gets through that marketing barrier we've all developed over the years, and you, oh my God, that is something that I'm now experiencing.
Corporate character is hugely important for us as a way to get everybody aligned around what it is that truly is at the core of our business. Who are we as a company? And the more aligned you are, then the more consistent you are when you are in the marketplace, and then the marketplace can help carry that message forward.
When you're faced with a situation where you have to redefine the corporate character, that's where the CCO should step in and make sure you have all the facts available to start doing it. So find out what's wrong with the current formulation of corporate character. It can be the business purpose statement, it can be mission and values, it can be all sorts of things. If it's not realistic, if it's not authentic, if it's not real anymore, and things can change in the company, then the CCO should step in to facilitate the change process.
Unless you're working across and integrating across the disciplines of public government affairs, sustainable development, internal and external communication, marketing communication, then you're probably not going to be in a real position to influence behaviour and drive the actions of the organisation.
I think comms is like any other serious grown-up function, except more so, and I think it's going to become even more like that. It needs the same level of controls, systems and measures to reinforce the bigger, nobler purpose about clarifying the strategic intent of the company, shaping the behaviours and values and brands that you actually want.
If we've got this power, if we've got this seat at the table, are we ready for it? Are we ready to lead and drive not just communications, but really social change in a broad way?